Hello, everybody. Welcome to the C Spot. My name is Chef C, otherwise known as Caritha Coulter. So today we're being low carb crunches today. So we're going to do cheese steak tortillas. Everything's going to be low carb. Everything's going to be tasty, and it's going to be easy, easy. A lot of you know about fathead dough. Fathead dough is usually mozzarella cheese, egg, almond flour, sometimes coconut flour, sometimes a little cream cheese, salt, baking powder, fathead dough. You can Google and find out the origins of fathead dough. It's very interesting how someone came up with it, but you'll see all kinds of variations on the web. This variation is very simple. I really do like it. I made it the other day for my sous chef, and he was enamored by it. The steak is, I had a ribeye in the freezer. I semi-thawed it, sliced it very thin, put it in a Ziploc baggie because you know I'm pro Ziploc baggie. Don't get at me, you tree huggers. I'm sorry. I love Ziploc baggies. Anyway, so I put it in a Ziploc baggie with some Worcestershire sauce, some of my seasoning spice, and a little bit of sugar, just a little bit of sugar. And the sugar I used was monk fruit, so again, it's legal. And I just let it marinate. I cut up some peppers and onions, and I sauteed those peppers and onions and some mushrooms. Then I added in my steak, let it cook till it was about a medium. And I'm telling you, when I put it all together, it was wonderful. I used whatever I had in the fridge. I had some these folio cheese wraps. This one is cheddar. I had the white cheese, and well, it's a mixture. Oh, okay. It's a mixture. It's not really provolone. And what I did was I cut them smaller, and I used that inside of the tortilla, so that I don't have to put cheese on top of it. So then there's cheese inside of it. So it's sort of like what's that thing at Taco Bell where they have that cheese on the outside? Is that the chalupa? I don't know what you're talking about. Last time I ate a Taco Bell, they had a Cholito. That was in the 80s. So there's that. Anyway, so yeah. So I use this because this is the cheeses I had. If you have provolone, use provolone. I love provolone. If all you have is mozzarella, use mozzarella. You know, some will argue and tell you that it's not an official cheesesteak unless you have Cheese Whiz. I'm not using Cheese Whiz on anything. You can forget it. And I'm not using that Velveeta cheese either, because it's not real cheese. Read the ingredients. The processed cheese spread. We're not doing that. The ingredients on here are malt, salt, microbiome enzymes, annatto cutter. Annatto cutter is annatto seeds, and they use that for color anything that's cheddar. And pasteurized milk. So it's cheese. It's cheese. And that's what we want. We're going to get as close to nature as possible and still eat the things that we like. That's our goal. All right. So thank you for coming with me today. Let's go cook. Okay. In my little chopper, I have mozzarella cheese, some almond flour. I've added in some of my seasoning spice and some salt. That's all that's in here. We're going to grind it just a little bit. And what this is doing is actually combining your almond flour and your mozzarella cheese, and it's also cutting your mozzarella cheese down to where you don't have huge shreds. This is the low moisture mozzarella cheese. It's the processed stuff in the bag. And don't at me. I know. All right, so we're going to put it, now that we have it down to this size, like granules, this is where it becomes like a fathead dough, because we're actually just going to heat it up in the stove We're gonna put it on about medium, which is about 4 on mine. And my pan's a little hot because when I cook, I cook. And now we're gonna just let it melt together. There's no eggs in this one. My pan is hot. I preheated my pan so that we wouldn't have to take so long. But we don't want it to burn. We don't want it to scorch. And we're not using the microwave this time. We're just going to cook it in this pan because I'm going to use this pan twice. I'm going to use it now for the tortilla. And then I'm going to come back and use this pan again to cook my onions and my peppers and my mushrooms. I already have that all meased out and ready. We're just going to melt this down until we can form a ball. And then once we're able to form a ball, we're going to roll them out. This is the quickest fathead dough recipe that I have ever used. And it's also the easiest. I was so impressed with this one. Contact me and I will give you the email address. Contact me via my email and I will give you this recipe. And I'll point you to the website that I got it from so you can get other things that might be easy for you to use as well. If it's not mine, I'm not going to claim it as mine. It's not. I changed some things about it to make it mine. But we're going to give credit where credit's due. That's the right way to do things. I don't want anybody to take my stuff and claim it as theirs. So I'm not taking anything that's someone else's and claim it as mine. Now, if I improve on their recipe, that's something different. Then it becomes mine. Okay, if you look, we've got a ball coming. We're able to form this into a ball, which means we're heated up really nice. We're going to cut off our heat because our pan holds our heat. You're using good pans. Use good pans that will hold your heat. I could plug so many products, but I'm not gonna. All right, we're gonna roll this out, and then we're gonna bake them in the oven. This is gonna be real simple. While this bakes, we're gonna cook our meat. Be right back. Part of the fun of cooking in the kitchen is playing with your food. Now you get to play with your food. So all I've done is I split the dough in half. The original recipe makes, I think I did 4 tortillas. I cut this recipe in half this time. There's only 2 of us. And I'm going to have way more food than we both should be eating. Bariatric folk should be eating. I said it. Don't at me. Don't be mad at me. You know, we've got issues with the COVID-15. Everybody's gaining around 15 pounds since COVID. That crap is hard to get rid of once you get it on. So we're all going to work together and try and get it off. I probably could have still cut that into 4, but we're gonna go with the 2. And this is all you have to do. We're gonna have it here, and we're gonna put it on our tray. All this is parchment paper. I just cut it into squares, and you just roll it out as close to a round as you can get. If you want to be particular, I could cut it out and make it a perfect round, and then refold the rest of it. Depends on how persnickety you want to be. Yes, I did. I said it, persnickety. Some of us can be persnickety. I'm not always persnickety. And there you are, round. That can be folded into another one. I'll probably have enough to make probably a little more. I'm just gonna roll it out. I like to flip between sides just to make sure that I don't stick. If it cools down on you and it won't roll out, stick it in the microwave for about 10-15 seconds. I'm heavy-handed, so I usually am low on the sides and high in the middle. So I do have to watch myself. And I am. If I cut the other one, I'm going to cut this one. That way they match. We'll make them look pretty. And there we are. So we've got our 2 rounds. They're going to go in the oven for about 10 minutes. And we'll be back. Okay, while our tortillas are in the oven, they got about 5 minutes. Actually, they have 2 more minutes left. And the correct time to cook those is 5 to 7, not 10, because you're going to put them back in a minute. So I've got some onions sliced. So we're going to put our onions in the pan. We're not going for brown. We're going for soft. So you don't need a high heat. You do need your pan to be hot, but you don't need a high heat. You can have as many or as little onions as you like. That's up to you. Remember, you're cooking this for you. You're not cooking this for others. So therefore, you can do what you like. I've got my garlic. I'm going to go ahead and put my garlic in because I'm not going to brown anything. We're not going for color. All right, so what I have here, I have some sliced peppers and jalapenos. These are jalapenos because he likes it more hotter, more better. So I've got yellow bell peppers and jalapenos. Couldn't find any red ones at the time. Use what you have. Again, you're cooking for your likes, not anybody else's. If you don't like peppers, don't put the peppers in there. I've got some chopped mushrooms. I'm going to put some of those in here as well. I have a little bit of oil in my pan, not a whole lot. I might give it another spray. We're going to hope that I can keep everything in the pan. We'll see. And we're just going to get these soft. And once we have them relatively soft, we'll bring them out. Our tortillas are done. Bring them out of the oven. Okay. Looks good. Yep, we're going to let them sit. And actually, those cheese rounds, I'm going to plop them on top. There's nothing like the smell of peppers and onions. Nothing like the smell of peppers and onions cooking. That alone can make you hungry. I'm not going to quite caramelize. Well, that paper hit off that one. I'm not going to quite caramelize my onions, but I'm going to get them close. And I actually think I need a little more oil. So I'm going to squirt just a little bit more. What kind of oil is that? That is canola oil. You can use whatever oil you have. Olive oil, if you have it. Avocado. Ghee. Since I have mine in a spray bottle, it's not enough to make a huge difference. As you saw, I just sprayed it on just a little bit. And if you notice, I didn't put any spices on my onions and peppers. And the reason why is because my meat is marinated and it's spicy. This is going to give you flavor. That's going to give you more flavor. We are almost done here. So I just want them a little bit soft. If you don't like mushrooms, again, leave it out. Remember, make this your own. Cooking with a recipe is a guideline. A guideline down a path of flavorful food that you can take detours as you need. Yeah. Yeah, waxing philosophical. That's me. All right. I'm going to put this to the side. We like one-pot dishes, don't we? See how clean that pan is? I'm going to put just a little bit more oil in. And it's meat time. Now, I have caught Kroger every now and then where they'll have the beef already shaved for you. So if you can catch that, that's groovy. But if you can't and you've got meat in your freezer like I do, because at some point I became a hoarder of food. If you've got meat in your freezer like I do, then turn that down just a little bit. Then it's easy to do. It's easy to do if the meat is still a little frozen. So I set mine out a day before I wanted to cook. And then all I did was, before it was completely thawed, I just took it out and just sliced it at a thin angle with a knife. And this is a ribeye, but you can do this with a New York strip. You can do this with a skirt steak, whatever you have. Because you're going to slice it so thin, because you're going to cook it quick. All right, my meat is almost cooked through. I'm going to add back my veggies. And do you believe we're almost done? Gonna let it cook for just a little bit more. I made some A1 sauce, y'all. I am that person sometimes. I did not want to go to the store. So I said, all this culinary skill I have, why don't I make my own steak sauce? So mine's a mixture between an A1 and a Heinz 57. But you can, exactly what I was getting ready to say. You can use A1 or Heinz 57. I just want a little bit. Just want a little bit. Because everything needs a sauce. Oven off because our pan will retain our heat. Oven beeped, so I have something coming out of the oven. Yep, I had an extra tortilla to put in. That's just the extra cheese from where I cut it in the round. This one's an extra one that I had from the last time when I had the white cheese. That pan is hot, and I did touch it like I thought it wasn't hot. Come on now. I don't have the magic of television. All right, where the magic begins. You want more mushrooms, you can add more mushrooms. You don't have to slice them as thin as I did. We'll be back in a minute, and I'll show you the finished product. And there you have it. The food is done. You're cooked and ready to go in about 15 minutes. It's a good, you can meal prep this as well. So you want to marinate your steak all at one time, cook everything all at once, and then you can meal prep for the week. If you don't want to fold it over like I have, like a taco, you can leave it flat like a tostada. So there are all kinds of options that you can do with this meal. And it can be quick, easy, economical, fast, and tasty. And it's also healthy and good for you. Because all of that is legal. Remember, we didn't use anything in there that wasn't bariatric friendly. So it's good food, good eats. Everything's good and healthy for you. So we're on that journey to lose weight and be healthy together. And that's the way we want to do it. So thank you again for coming to cook with me today. Remember, if you want this recipe or any recipes that you've seen on the website so far, then you can contact me at thecspotfood@gmail.com, thecspotfood@gmail.com. You can also see some of the things that we've done in the past on the cspotfood.com, the website, www.thecspotfood.com. And it's been a pleasure cooking with you, and we'll see you next time. Remember to enjoy the journey.